any of you that don't know the Globus family of brands, they've been around for quite some time. They've been around since 1928. Family owned and operated still to this day, actually. Started with a guy, Antonio Montegaza, and it started with traversing people across Lake Lugano in Switzerland and telling stories about the history of the lake and the city and the people around. And he realized that people really did have a thirst and a hunger to learn about their environment. And everything was born out of that one idea, and it grew over the years into what it is today. They have over 50 offices worldwide. So they have a big presence when you're traveling as far as, of course you want to know, is it safe? Am I going to have assistance if I need it? They definitely have that power abroad and locally to help out their guests. They also travel to over 6 continents, really anywhere from, like Mark said, locally, United States. They also do Canadian Rockies, South America, Africa, Europe, really the sky's the limit. They do have a host of different companies that they work with or that compromise Globus family of brands. The first one being Cosmos. Cosmos is affordable touring, so it's still a fully guided land tour option with a full itinerary. So they provide transportation as well as hotel booking and a tour director that takes you from place to place. It's a little bit more on the budget side for the value-conscious traveler. Globus is the one I'll be focusing on, first-class touring. That's really where it all started. Cosmos Light and Monograms are more on the independent travel side, and we'll get into that. And a name you all might recognize, Avalon Waterways, which is their river cruising component. So they really have a very wide range of expertise. Next slide. Globus. So again, we're talking over 90 years of experience. First-class hotels, we're really looking at 4-star plus hotels that are vetted. They make sure that they are in convenient locations, that they are clean, that they are acceptable for clients, and they exceed all expectations. The tour directors are really what make it come to life. The average Globus tour director has had over 10 years of experience with the company. So you're really working with people that know what they're doing, as well as using local guides in specific scenarios to really give you that in-depth, immersive cultural experience. Then going into that, they have local favorites, which are unique experiences that they kind of put throughout their itineraries to give you that really truly authentic experience. And we'll go over an example itinerary, and I'll mention some of those. VIP access. So we talk about when you're traveling on your own and you're trying to book your own hotel and your own tours and your own site visits, you end up sitting in lines and not knowing how to buy your tickets. All of that is taken out of the equation. Globus handles it for you. They have the skip-a-line access, so you're not waiting in line at the Sagrada Familia in Barcelona for hours on end. They have that VIP access for you. And then 2 things that they feature that are kind of unique. Escapes by Globus is kind of the branding that you'll see as the starting prices for the Globus product that are off-season. So instead of going in peak season, if you're willing to go in some of the off seasons, they have really attractive pricing for you guys to explore. And then also Undiscovered, which are my personal favorites. The Undiscovered tours are the off the beaten path itineraries. So if you've been somewhere extensively and you've already done it a couple of times and you're really looking for something a little bit more unique and authentic, but you want the comfort of being on a guided tour with a tour director and all the logistics taken care of, it's a really good place to start. And just talking about Globus experience, the average tour size is about 36 people total, and the max is 44. So you're talking about a small, intimate group. In Europe, you have all the headsets, so you can hear your tour director. They really make it as easy as possible. And as far as pace goes, each itinerary does have their own pacing guidelines from steady to active to on the go. So depending on whatever level of activity you're looking for, whatever level of downtime versus sightseeing time versus touring, they have a really broad range of itineraries. So I'll go into one a little bit more in depth. This is Northern Italy's highlights in Cinque Terre, 10 days round trip Milan. Just to kind of touch on some of the highlights, So first of all, it's round trip Milan, easy to get to. They do have air pricing options, both through Flex Air and Instant Purchase Air. So Globus can even assist not only in the land side, but on the air arrangements as well, and make it easy with transfers. Then you're going through northern Italy. So for example, one of those local favorites experiences that we were talking about is a Parmesan cheese tasting outside of Parma and Busseto. Also at the bottom right, we've got the Milan Cathedral, which includes a site visit there. You do other things such as a balsamic vinegar tasting in Modena, as well as um, wine tasting in Garbiniano. And then again, the highlight of this trip is you get actually a little boat ride and train ride through Cinque Terre over to Portofino. In that top right photo, it's a fishing village that's known for its picturesque, those photo opportunities we were talking about. That's really going to be one of the highlights of this itinerary. But again, you're spending 10 days in northern Italy, going a little bit more in depth to Italian culture other than just Florence, Rome, and Venice. This gets you a little bit more into the undiscovered side of things. And lastly, I just wanted to go over Cosmos and Monogram. So again, Cosmos is their affordable touring option. Again, the freedom of independent travel and the benefits of group travel. So you get the freedom to do everything that you want to do. There's a lot less included day-to-day tours. You still have a tour director. You still have your hotels and transportation arranged for you. It's just a little bit less of it. The hotels will be closer to 3 to 4 star hotels. Sometimes they're not completely city center. They might be a little bit outside. So these are going to be for people that are willing to go out and kind of do things on their own a little bit, with the help of their tour director and the help of their local hosts, but a little bit more into the adventure seeking side of land touring. They also have Cosmos Light that they've just announced, which is kind of an a la carte version of a Cosmos tour where your days are free. Your days are free to do whatever you want to do with a multitude of optional tours that you can book. Or you can just go walk around on your own. But again, it's a very easy option for those that want to be on a budget and don't want to have a very rigid itinerary. And then lastly, Monograms. Monograms is a truly unique experience where it's personalized. This is not going to be group touring. This is going to be independent travel. This focuses on 1 to 2, sometimes 3 cities at most, where you pick how many days you want to be in each one. You'll have an airport host that picks you up and takes you to your hotel. You pick which hotel you'd like to stay at based on the options presented by Monograms. And then you have a local host that's basically on call for you the entire time you're there. So they'll do a half-day tour with you in each city that you're going to get you acquainted with the environment. And then you tell him what you want to do, him or her, and they help arrange that for you. So it's basically the ideal for people that have maybe been to a city before, or they really want to do it on their own with just a little bit of extra help, and they want that insight of a local to really give them the expertise and where to go and what to do and when to do it. Monograms is a really great and wonderful feature. And lastly, the Go app is across all brands for Globus, Monograms, and Cosmos, which is used for right before you depart with all of your itinerary and documents and things like that, as well as while you're traveling. You can book your optional tours. You can look at what other things are being offered. It has recommendations for restaurants and other sites that you may want to visit, as well as offline GPS navigation. So if you're walking around, you don't know where you are, and you don't have Wi-Fi, like many of us have experienced while we're traveling, this gives you a great and useful tool to orient yourself and get back to where you need to go. So that concludes the Globus family of brands.